Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. We begin in the name of Almighty Allah, the most magnificent, the ever merciful. We glorify Him, we praise Him, and of course we elevate His name as He ought to be elevated. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I extend to you the eternal and of course the universal salutation of peace. May the peace, blessings and mercies of Almighty Allah be upon you. A most pleasant good morning going out to you on this beautiful, beautiful Friday morning. Another day. We've come to the end of another week. We give thanks and praises to the Almighty for the opportunity to see life once again. As always, I do pray and hope that you are healthy, well, enjoying a period of happiness and prosperity, and of course, well-being. I'm your host and brother in humanity, Imam Safraz Gani, here in your company once again on this auspicious and holy day of Friday, the day of Jum'ah here in Trinidad and Tobago. Thank you so much for joining me on the program this morning. Jummah Mubarak going out to you and yours. All praises are due to Almighty Allah, the Lord of the worlds, the magnificent, the merciful, Master of the Day of Judgment. Oh Allah, it is you do we worship, and from you only do we ask for help. Guide us to the straight path, the path of those upon whom you have bestowed your favor, not the path of those who have evoked your anger, nor the path of those who have gone astray. Ameen ya Rabbal Alameen. Well, today's Islamic date is the 28th day in the month of Rabi'ul Thani, which of course is the 4th month on the Islamic calendar. We are currently in the year 1446. With that being said, tomorrow evening, which will be the evening of the 29th day of this month, the 29th day of the month of Rabi'ul Thani, of course, the moon will be looked for tomorrow evening to bring an end to this particular month. If the moon is sighted, we'll be rolling over to the new month, the month of Jamadul Ula, the 5th month on the Islamic calendar. And if the moon is not sighted tomorrow evening, Saturday evening, the moon is not sighted, then we'll be having one extra day in this particular month, the month of Rabi'ul Thani. All in all, the days are rolling by very quickly. And of course, what is important is how you spend the time given to you. Today also coincides with the first Friday in the month of November for the year 2024. So the weeks are rolling by very quickly. This year is also coming to an end also very quickly. We try our very best to use the time given to us because we might be alive today. We have no guarantees for tomorrow. And on that note, as we are now getting ready to commence the holy day of Jum'ah here in Trinidad and Tobago, of course, allow me now to take the opportunity to welcome you live on air, live on the internet, live across our social feeds as well, on Facebook and on YouTube as well, for this weekly program titled Soul Inspirations, your program for inspiration, information, education, and entertainment. Definitely do stick around. I've got lots to share with you as we continue on with this particular hour together. Jummah Mubarak going out to you and yours.
अल्लाह ही अल्लाह किया करो, दुख न किसी को दिया करो, जो दुनिया का मालिक है नाम उसी का लिया करो। अल्लाह ही अल्लाह, अल्लाह ही अल्लाह, अल्लाह ही अल्लाह किया करो, दुख न किसी को दिया करो, जो दुनिया का मालिक है नाम उसी का लिया करो। अल्लाह ही अल्लाह, अल्लाह ही अल्लाह। You are the one who we turn to. You are the one who we call to. Allah, you are the one who helps us through when life's hard. We depend on you. We depend on you. You're the one who answers sad doors. You're the only one who heals broken hearts. So keep us on sirat al-mustaqim. Allah ही अल्लाह किया करो, दुख न किसी को दिया करो, जो दुनिया का मालिक है नाम उसी का लिया करो। अल्लाह ही अल्लाह, Allah hi Allah, Allah hi Allah किया करो, दुख न किसी को दिया करो, जो दुनिया का मालिक है, नाम उसी का लिया करो. Allah hi Allah, Allah hi Allah, you are the one who cares for us. Our love for you shines brighter than the stars. You are the one who's always there for us. When we walk to you, you come running to us. You're the one who answers sad ones. You're the only one who heals broken hearts. So keep us on Sirata Mustaqim. Allah ही अल्लाह किया करो, दुख न किसी को दिया करो, जो दुनिया का मालिक है, नाम उसी का लिया करो. Allah ही अल्लाह, Allah ही अल्लाह, Allah ही अल्लाह किया करो, दुख न किसी को दिया करो, जो दुनिया का मालिक है, नाम उसी का लिया करो. Allah ही अल्लाह, Allah ही अल्लाह, Allah ही अल्लाह किया करो, Allah ही अल्लाह किया करो, दुख न किसी को दिया करो, दुख न किसी को दिया करो, दुख न किसी को दिया करो. Allah ही अल्लाह किया करो, दुख न किसी को दिया करो, जो दुनिया का मालिक है, नाम उसी का लिया करो, नाम उसी का लिया करो. Allah ही अल्लाह किया करो, दुख न किसी को दिया करो, जो दुनिया का मालिक है, नाम उसी का लिया करो. Allah ही अल्लाह, Allah ही अल्लाह, Allah ही अल्लाह किया करो, दुख न किसी को दिया करो, जो दुनिया का मालिक है, नाम उसी का लिया करो. Allah ही अल्लाह, Allah ही अल्लाह, Allah ही अल्लाह किया करो, दुख न किसी को दिया करो, जो दुनिया का मालिक है, नाम उसी का लिया करो, नाम उसी का लिया करो. Allah ही अल्लाह किया करो, दुख न किसी को दिया करो, जो दुनिया का मालिक है, नाम उसी का लिया करो. Allah ही अल्लाह, Allah ही अल्लाह, Allah ही अल्लाह किया करो, दुख न किसी को दिया करो, जो दुनिया का मालिक है, नाम उसी का लिया करो. Allah ही अल्लाह, Allah ही अल्लाह.
Soul Inspirations on 103.1 FM, brought to you courtesy Original Barbecue Hut, Nicer Brand Products Limited, Point Fortin Hardware Limited, Absolute Investments Limited, Adams Project Management Construction, and the TriniLink Solutions. You are listening to Soul Inspirations.
Yes, we are tuned into Soul Inspirations on 103.1 FM with yours truly, Imam Safraz Ghani. And as always, I must say, it's definitely an absolute honor and, of course, a personal pleasure to be in your company once again for around about the next hour or so. Thank you so much for the pleasure of your company. Thank you so much for all of the kind messages I have been receiving thus far on the WhatsApp number 2994103, and of course across our social feeds on Facebook and on YouTube as well. On the program this morning, of course, we've got a very, very intriguing segment as always lined up for you. We start off with our short inspirational segment, followed by the early morning call to prayer. I'll be sharing with you a few beautiful Islamic selections as well. And of course, coming up a bit later on as we get into our short lecture segment, this morning I'll be talking about making the most of spiritual occasions. And how do you nurture the soul during those particular occasions? Many a times, spiritual occasions come and go. and we have not actually achieved anything at all whatsoever. So that is our topic of discussion for this morning, making the most of spiritual occasions and how do we nurture the soul throughout these particular periods and throughout these particular occasions. So that and more is coming up as we continue on with this particular program. Thank you so much for the pleasure of your company. Jumma Mubarak going out to you and yours.
ربنا يا ربنا 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 ربنا يا ربنا. Oh Allah, you are the greatest, nothing can compare to you. Oh Allah, you are the greatest, nothing can compare to you. Oh Allah, you are the greatest, nothing can compare to you. Giving, loving, merciful Lord, all praise is due to you. Rabbana ya Rabbana, Rabbana ya Rabbana, Rabbana ya Rabbana, Rabbana ya Rabbana. Oh my Lord, I raise my hands, supplicating love to you. Oh my Lord, I raise my hands, supplicating love to you. Grant me in the afterlife the glory of seeing you. Rabbana ya Rabbana, Rabbana ya Rabbana, Rabbana ya Rabbana, Rabbana ya Rabbana. Oh, the one who gives and takes, give us all that is good. Oh, the one who gives and takes, give us all that is good. Oh, the one who gives and takes, give us all that is good. Allow us to fulfill our aims and gain reward in all we do. Rabbana ya Rabbana, Rabbana ya Rabbana, Rabbana ya Rabbana, Rabbana ya Rabbana. Oh Allah, I turn to you in my times of need and joy. Oh Allah, I turn to you in my times of need and joy. Truly you know everything, make my worries be no more. Rabbana ya Rabbana, Rabbana ya Rabbana, Rabbana ya Rabbana, Rabbana ya Rabbana. हे खुदा তুমি রহম করে রানী কেউ তোমার সমান। হে খুদা তুমি রহম করে রানী কেউ তোমার সমান। হে খোদা তুমি রহম করে রানী কেউ তোমার সমান। ভালোবাসো আমাদেরকে তুমি যে মহিয়ান। রব্বানা ইয়া রব্বানা, রব্বানা ইয়া রব্বানা, রব্বানা ইয়া রব্বানা, রব্বানা ইয়া রব্বানা। ربنا يا ربنا، 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 ربنا يا ربنا.
Allah's blessings and mercies to you and yours on this beautiful, beautiful Friday morning. Jummah Mubarak going out to you and yours, of course, as we look forward to another day in our lives, as we look forward to another week. Another week has come to an end. We have rolled over to a new month on the Gregorian calendar. Of course, we give thanks to the Almighty for all of the favors and bounties He has bestowed upon us. As you welcome the gift of a brand new day, always remember to be humble. And being humble means recognizing that you are not of this earth to see how important you can become. But you are here on this earth to see how much difference you can make in the lives of others, how you can positively affect those around you. And a meaningful life is not being rich, it is not being popular, it is not even being highly educated or being perfect. A meaningful life is about being real, being humble, and being able to share yourself and touch the lives of others in a positive way. When you meet someone and you have to leave the company of that individual, ensure that when you leave them in a better position than when you met them. And sometimes as you go through the course of your life, you have to eat your words, you have to chew on your ego, you have to swallow your pride, and sometimes you have to accept that you are wrong. It's not giving up, it's called growth. And when you understand that concept, life itself becomes much more fulfilling, and you're able to then positively impact those people around you, and then you leave this world in a much better place than you found it. So those few words I say to you, may Allah bless you this morning, may Allah bless you this day, may He continue to remove all challenges and obstacles from your path, may He continue to guide your footsteps to all that is good, towards happiness, prosperity, well-being. May He grant you the strength and the courage to face the challenges that will come your way this day, and may He make it possible that you can find that heightened level of spirituality, for indeed that is what takes us to higher ground. Well, our inspirational segment is literally just around the corner. Do stick around. You are tuned into Soul Inspirations right here on 103.1 FM.
Soul Inspirations on 103.1 FM, brought to you courtesy Original Barbecue Hut, Nicer Brand Products Limited, Point Fortin Hardware Limited, Absolute Investments Limited, Adams Project Management Construction, and the TriniLink Solutions. You are listening to Soul Inspirations.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, I'm pretty sure that you have heard the saying, mind over matter. Mind over matter. It simply means that you can do whatever you put your mind to. And I'm pretty sure that you might have heard the older folks saying that you can achieve anything that you put your mind to. And where there is a will, there is always a way. The mind, it is most definitely your most potent weapon. It is the strongest asset you possess, and if used correctly, it can guide you to the pinnacles of success in every realm of life. One person rightly said that bondage is of the mind. Freedom too is also of the mind. And all things good and bad originate from the mind itself. And to highlight this point, let me share with you this small anecdote. There was once a farmer, and he was taking his 3 donkeys to the market. On the way, he came across a river and decided to take a dip in the water. Before getting into the water, of course, first he wanted to ensure that the 3 animals were properly secured. But then he found that he faced a problem. He realized at that point that he only had 2 ropes instead of 3 to tie the donkeys to a tree. So looking around for a solution, he spotted a wise man going by, and he asked him for help. The wise man did not have a rope, But he gave him an idea. He said to him, let the third donkey see you tying the other two to a tree, and then pretend to tie the third donkey as well. The farmer followed the advice and he went into the river for a dip. When he came back, he saw to his amazement that the donkeys were exactly where he had left them. He untied the two donkeys that were tied, and the third one that he pretended to tie, he urged him to move. But to his surprise, the third donkey refused to budge from that spot, and no amount of coaxing, no amount of kicking, no amount of talking could make that donkey move. Confused, the farmer returned to the wise man for help, and he explained to him his predicament. The wise man looked at him and said, did you untie the third donkey? The farmer then laughed and he said, but I had no rope to tie it. I simply pretended to tie the donkey. So the wise man said to him, no, go back and pretend to untie the donkey. So the farmer returned and he pretended to untie the donkey. And lo and behold, the donkey got up and started moving. The farmer learned a very, very valuable lesson that day. He learned the amazing power of the mind and the negative impact of mental shackles. Mental shackles, despite being invisible, can be some of the most powerful restraints that hold us back from reaching our full potential. These constraints are self-imposed limitations that often stem from our beliefs, our fears, our past experiences, and our societal conditioning. Overcoming these mental shackles is crucial for personal growth, for success, and for overall well-being. Sometimes you don't have chains around your ankles, but still you are not free from the shackles of your mind. So what are some of the mental shackles that we tend to place on ourselves on a daily basis? Well, first of all, self-limiting beliefs. These are beliefs that you hold about yourself and your abilities that constrain you in some way. Common examples include, I am not good enough, I can't do it, or I don't think that I deserve this. When you repeatedly say or think that you cannot do, you not only limit yourself, but you also create mental barriers that hinder your growth and your potential. What is another mental shackle? Number two, fear of failure. The fear of failure can paralyze you and prevent you from taking risks, from trying new things, or from even pursuing your goals in a positive manner. It can lead to missed opportunities, and it can lead to a life confined to the parameters of your comfort zone. The third mental shackle that we place on ourselves is called comfort zone or familiar ground. Staying within your comfort zone might feel safe, but it limits your growth and prevents you from exploring new possibilities and new experiences. As human beings, we tend to fear change because we don't fully understand what impact it can have on our lives, and what we don't fully understand, we tend to consider as a threat. The fourth negative or the fourth mental shackle that we generally place upon ourselves is called negative self-talk. The way you speak to yourself can either empower you or limit you. Negative self-talk can reinforce mental shackles by constantly reminding you of your perceived limitations or your perceived weaknesses. And to counteract that, you have to get yourself in the habit of positive self-talk. Sometimes it's good to give yourself a little pep talk. Boost yourself up, boost up your courage, and then you will see the impact that it has in your life. The fifth mental shackle I want to share with you this morning that we commonly place upon ourselves is comparison and social expectations. Constantly comparing yourself to others or trying to meet societal expectations can most definitely create mental shackles upon you that will limit your authenticity it will limit your happiness, and most importantly, it will limit your personal growth. So, big question: how do you break free from these mental shackles? Well, first of all, number one, self-awareness. Recognize and acknowledge your mental shackles. Identify your mental shackles. Understand where they came from and how they influence your thoughts, how they influence your feelings and your actions. Number two, challenge your beliefs. Question the validity of your self-limiting beliefs. Are they based on facts or assumptions? And replace them with empowering and positive beliefs that will support your growth. Number three, face your fears. Embrace your fears. Embrace it as a natural part of growth. Take small steps outside of your comfort zone to build your confidence and your resilience. Number four, practice self-compassion. Sometimes it is quite good to be kind to yourself. Replace negative self-talk with positive affirmations and self-encouragement. Number five, get yourself in the habit of thinking outside of the box. Think outside of the box. Now, this is a mindset that encourages you as an individual to approach problems, to approach ideas and situations in an unconventional and creative way. This approach involves breaking free from traditional thinking patterns and exploring more innovative solutions that may not be immediately obvious. Number six, set goals and take actions. Very simple. Break down your goals into smaller, manageable steps. Take consistent action towards them, even if it means facing discomfort or uncertainty. But always remember, what seems to be difficult eventually will be there in your life to make you a stronger person. And finally, number seven, seek support. Surround yourself with positive and supportive people who encourage your growth and who are able to challenge your limitations to push you beyond a boundary of becoming a better version of yourself. Mental shackles can be formidable barriers to personal growth and happiness. By cultivating self-awareness, and by challenging your limited beliefs, by facing your fears, by practicing self-compassion, by setting goals and seeking support from each other, you can gradually break free from these constraints and live a much more fulfilling and authentic life. Remember, the journey of liberation from mental shackles is ongoing, and it requires patience, it requires persistence, and it requires a willingness to embrace positive change. By recognizing and challenging these self-limiting beliefs, and by cultivating a growth mindset, you can break free from the constraints of your own mind, and you can unlock your full potential. And finally, I'll leave you with this phrase. Remember, you are capable of much more than you think. And by changing your approach, you can change your mindset, and you can create new possibilities for yourself. At this point on the program, we now go to the early morning call to prayer. The early morning call to prayer is being brought to you this morning through the kind courtesies of Absolute Investments Limited of Monroe Road in Cunupia.
أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمد رسول الله أشهد أن محمد رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على حي على الصلاة خير من النوم الصلاة خير من النوم لا إله إلا الله
Soul Inspirations on 103.1 FM, brought to you courtesy Original Barbecue Hut, Nicer Brand Products Limited, Point Fortin Hardware Limited, Absolute Investments Limited, Adams Project Management Construction, and the TriniLink Solutions. You are listening to Soul Inspirations.
Medina, Medina, ah, Medina, Medina, oh, Medina, Medina, oh, Medina, 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 ah, Medina, Medina, oh, Medina, Medina, oh, Medina, Medina. The city of the Prophet where we all like to be. Medina tum Nabi, Medina tum Nabi, Medina tum Nabi, Medina tum Nabi. Medina, Medina, ah, Medina, Medina, oh, Medina, Medina, oh, Medina, 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 ah, Medina, Medina, oh, Medina, Medina, oh, Medina, Medina. The city that's bright where you become light of all worries and burdens. When you set sight your heart to delight at the wonders of Medina. Medina, 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 Medina. The city so sweet, Medina tum Nabi. My heart is at ease, Medina tum Nabi. Medina, Medina, ah, Medina, Medina, oh, Medina, Medina, oh, Medina, 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 ah, Medina, Medina, oh, Medina, Medina, oh, Medina, Medina. The city that people on the street, the markets, the brilliance, everything. Door and doors, morning and night, sunset every moment. Everything is peace, everything is peace, everything is peace in Medina tum Nabi. My heart is at ease, my heart is at ease, my heart is at ease in Medina tum Nabi. Medina, 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 ah, Medina, Medina, oh, Medina, Medina, oh, Medina, 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 ah, Medina, Medina, oh, Medina, Medina, oh, Medina, 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 ah, Medina, Medina, oh, Medina, Medina, oh, Medina, 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 ah, Medina, Medina, oh, Medina, Medina, oh Medina, Medina, the city of love, Medina to Nabi, the city from above, Medina to Nabi, rejoice everyone, Medina to Nabi, Medina to Nabi, Medina to Nabi, Medina, 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 oh Medina, Medina, oh Medina, 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 oh Medina, Medina, oh Medina, Medina. میں بھٹکا ہوا تھا پریشان تھا میں سہارا بھی مجھ کو ملا تھا نہ کوئی تجھے میں نے سب کے دلوں میں جو ڈھونڈا ملا مجھ کو اپنے ہی دل کے کنارے یا اللہ یا اللہ یا اللہ یا رحیم یا کریم زمیں کے حسن میں شرابور تھا میں اٹھاتا تھا سر ڈھونڈتا تھا میں تجھ کو پہاڑوں ستاروں بدلتی فضاؤں کو جب میں نے سمجھا ملا مجھ کو تو ہی یا اللہ یا اللہ یا اللہ یا رحیم یا کریم یا رحیم یا کریم معاف کر دے مجھ کو بھی تو ہی تو بس میرے ہے سب سے قریب ہاں کریم یا رحیم یا کریم معاف کر دے مجھ کو بھی تو ہی تو بس میرے ہے سب سے قریب ہاں کریم لگا کے یہ دل میں نے دنیا سے دیکھا پھر ایسا ہوا دل لگایا یہ تجھ سے نہ در میں نہ شہر میں نہ اپنے ہی گھر میں ملا جو سکون قلب تیرے گھر میں یا اللہ یا اللہ یا اللہ یا رحیم یا کریم یا رحیم یا کریم معاف کر دے مجھ کو بھی تو ہی تو بس میرے ہے سب سے قریب ہاں کریم یا رحیم یا کریم معاف کر دے مجھ کو بھی تو ہی تو بس میرے ہے سب سے قریب ہاں کریم یا رحیم یا کریم معاف کر دے مجھ کو بھی تو ہی تو بس میرے ہے سب سے قریب ہاں کریم یا ہم تیرے بنا اب رہ نہیں سکتے تیرے بنا کیا وجود میرا ہم تیرے بنا اب رہ نہیں سکتے تیرے بنا کیا وجود میرا تجھ سے جدا اگر ہو جائیں گے تو خود سے ہی ہو جائیں گے جدا اب تم ہی ہو بس تم ہی ہو یا ربی بس تم ہی ہو چین بھی میری ہر خوشی میری زندگی بس تم ہی ہو یا ربی تیرا میرا رشتہ ہے کیسا ایک پل دور گوارا نہیں میرا सुबह शाम बस है तेरा वक्त मेरा बस आपका है कोई लम्हा मेरा ना हो तेरे बिना हर सांस पे नाम तेरा अब तुम ही हो बस तुम ही हो या रबी बस तुम ही हो चैन भी मेरी हर खुशी मेरी जिंदगी बस तुम ही हो My Lord, you have come and seen me. I was lost and found now. You made love so easy. My Lord, keep me on the straight path. You're my one and only. Bas tum hi ho. Tum hi ho. Bas tum hi ho. Ya Rabbi, bas tum hi ho. चैन भी मेरी हर खुशी मेरी जिंदगी बस तुम ही हो.
Welcome back. You are tuned into Soul Inspirations right here on 103.1 FM with yours truly, Imam Safras Ghani. And at this point in the program, we now get into our lecture segment. And like I mentioned before this morning, we are talking about making the most of spiritual occasions. And how do you nurture the soul through these particular occasions? So basically, whatever you do in life, your aim should always be to become a better version of yourself in every walk of life. And there are so many avenues available to do so. One of the avenues that a person can use to his benefits, that a person can use to become a better version of himself, is a spiritual occasion, a spiritual period or a spiritual time of the year. And if you go through the course of the year, I think all religions tend to have these spiritual periods that really and truly is geared towards encouraging the individual to become a better version of himself. Now, whether the person uses that opportunity or not, that's another question entirely. Because it is quite unfortunate to see that in many instances, the spiritual occasion itself is so commercialized beyond recognition. Not only that, because of the commercialization, the spiritual aspect is no longer preserved within that spiritual occasion. We have become so caught up in materialistic pursuits, even during that particular spiritual period, that we totally forget the spiritual aspect that really and truly is supposed to be the most important aspect of that period or that occasion. And if you are able, and I want you to think about this, if you are able to improve on yourself even a little bit, every time a spiritual occasion comes around, you are able to improve yourself by just a little bit. Just imagine the kind of heights, the kind of spiritual heights you would be able to reach. And that is what the mindset should be. That every time a spiritual occasion comes around, try not to become distracted, because I can tell you there are so many distractions that tends to pull the attention of the individual away from spirituality. On the surface, we know that it is supposed to be a spiritual occasion, but what really takes place behind the scenes are so many distractions that are all geared towards pulling the mind of the individual away from spirituality. So as you approach any spiritual occasion, any spiritual period, there are three phases that I want to walk you through this morning. Number one, there is the before, the during, and the after. Before, during, and after, and how you approach each one is extremely important and pivotal in determining whether you attain a certain level of spirituality during that period or not. It is pivotal in determining whether you utilize the opportunity or not. So when there is a spiritual occasion on the horizon, that is when the before phase will kick in. And it is important to understand, how do you approach that particular phase? Well, 2 words. Number 1, preparation and mindset. Understand the importance and the significance of the spiritual occasion at hand. Understand and value the opportunity at hand. Many times we don't even look at it as an opportunity. We look on the horizon, we see a spiritual occasion coming, and we start to think materialistic. We start to think, recreational, and we don't think opportunity at hand. Acknowledge the significance of these moments for personal growth. Acknowledge these opportunities to gain inner peace, to gain spirituality and connectivity with the Almighty. Make a firm intention to use the occasion to become an improved individual and not to become sidetracked by materialism, not to become sidetracked by all of the distractions that clouds our vision. And it's extremely important that in the before phase, you must have a plan for the during phase. You can't enter the during phase without having a plan. That plan has to be drafted in the before phase. How am I going to use this spiritual occasion to benefit myself? What am I going to do? What forms of worship? How am I going to connect with the Almighty? What good acts am I going to engage myself in? Have a plan. After that, you then move forward to the during phase. Now, this is where it becomes a bit tricky, because many times in the during phase, we start off with good intentions, with good plans. But then again, because of the distractions, because of what is taking place in the public domain, because of what is taking place around us within our own circles, we find ourselves becoming sidetracked, and we drift so far away from spirituality that we can't even catch ourselves. So in the during phase, it is important to focus on the cornerstone of purifying and improving yourself through your worship of the Almighty. Establish prayer, practice the remembrance of the Almighty, increase the awareness of Him throughout the course of your day in order to become closer to Him, and in turn you'll be able to decrease the likelihood of committing any act that will bring about His displeasure. Improve your moral standards by cultivating integrity, by doing the right thing. Smile in the face of others. Be kind and positive when interacting with humanity. Be merciful and forgiving when dealing with humanity. Be disciplined and organized in the management of your time, so that you become more productive throughout that particular spiritual occasion. Give charity. Lend a helping hand to those in need. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, mentions, none of you truly believes until he wishes for his brother that which he wishes for himself. Strive to increase your knowledge, because knowledge is the key to spiritual growth. Endeavor to be a knowledgeable individual. Take time for self-reflection, very importantly. Don't just go through a spiritual period without anything to show for it. Take time for self-reflection. Maintain good company and friends who will help you to become a positive version of yourself, who will influence you in a positive manner. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, mentions a person is likely to follow the faith of his friend. So be very careful about whom you befriend. Perform sincere repentance for your sins. Seek the mercy of the Almighty. And this is all in the during phase. Make use of the guilt that you feel for your transactions, for your transgressions, as a motivation to learn from your mistakes and never to repeat them again. Keep yourself engaged in more spiritual pursuits rather than materialistic pursuits. And then you move on to the after phase. After the spiritual occasion has gone by, you have now entered the after phase. In the after phase, it is important that you express your gratitude to the Almighty for allowing you the life and the strength to witness another spiritual occasion, express your appreciation, but it is also important that you take time to reflect and analyze and ask yourself the important question: was I able to become a better person during this spiritual period? And if after a spiritual occasion you were unable to become a better version of yourself, then quite frankly, you missed the boat, so to speak. You missed the opportunity. And like the local saying goes, you're only spinning top in mud. And many times you fool yourself thinking that, yes, I am gaining spiritual closeness to the Almighty. But again, you are just literally stand still. So the challenge is to bring back spirituality into your spiritual occasions. Don't allow it to become sidetracked by distractions. Don't allow it to become sidetracked by recreational pursuits. Don't allow it to become sidetracked by materialistic pursuits, by financial pursuits. Remember that it is a spiritual occasion for a reason, and that reason is to bring yourself closer to the Almighty.
Assalamu alaikum. See, we work so hard, sometimes forgetting about our hearts. What are we chasing for? We don't need more. I know the world is tough, but all we need to show is love. Everything will be fine. Now here's your sign. لا 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 نحتاج المال كي نزداد جمالا جوهرنا هنا في القلب لا 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 نرضي الناس بما لا نرضاه لنا حالا ذاك جمالنا جسمه يتعالى كن أنت تزداد جمالا كن أنت تزداد جمالا لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله Always be yourself, that is where you will find yourself. That is the key to the door for happiness and more. Always put your faith in your Lord, He will keep you safe. Don't ever feel no fear, He'll always be right here. لا 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 نحتاج المال كي نزداد جمالا جوهرنا هنا في القلب لا 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 نرضي الناس بما لا نرضاه لنا حالا ذاك جمالنا جسمه يتعالى كن أنت تزداد جمالا Loving yourself will set you free. You don't have to follow all the things you see. Be yourself and you will find happiness and peace of mind. Oh, we are not alone. We have Allah. كي نزداد جمالا جوهرنا هنا في القلب لا 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 نرضي الناس بما لا نرضاه لنا حالا ذاك جمالنا جسمه يتعالى كن أنت تزداد جمالا كن أنت تزداد جمالا
Soul Inspirations on 103.1 FM, brought to you courtesy Original Barbecue Hut, Nicer Brand Products Limited, Point Fortin Hardware Limited, Absolute Investments Limited, Adams Project Management Construction, and the TriniLink Solutions. You are listening to Soul Inspirations.
Yes, indeed, you have been listening to Soul Inspirations right here on 103.1 FM with yours truly, Imam Safaz Ghani. At this point, as we're now coming to the end of the program for this morning, I must take the opportunity to say a very special thank you going out to the sponsors. Also, a very special salam and greetings of peace going out to you, our listeners and viewers who have joined us on the program this morning, to everyone who messaged on the program, locally, regionally, internationally. Thank you so much for your kind gestures. Thank you so much for your kind words. They're always, always highly, highly valued and appreciated. May the blessings of Almighty Allah be with you. Of course, it was an absolute pleasure to be in your company over the past hour or so. By all means, do catch me next week, Friday, from 5 a.m. as we bring to you another segment of Soul Inspirations, your program for inspiration, information, education, and entertainment. Well, until next week, Friday, please have an extremely blessed day, blessed weekend. Stay safe, stay in the mercy of Almighty Allah. Much love, and may the peace, blessings, and mercies of Almighty Allah be with you. Up next is News at 6, followed by Prabhat. Do keep it locked on to 103.1 FM for more inspirational and motivational programming throughout the course of today. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
مولاي صل وسلم دائما ابدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم مولاي صل وسلم دائما ابدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم سحر کا وقت تھا معصوم گلیاں مسکراتی تھی ہوائیں خیر مقدم کے ترانے گنگناتی تھی ابھی جبریل بھی اترے نہ تھے کعبے کے منبر سے کہ اتنے میں صدا آئی یہ عبداللہ کے گھر سے مبارک ہو شہ ہر دو جہاں تشریف لے آئے مبارک ہو محمد مصطفیٰ تشریف لے آئے مولاي صل وسلم دائما ابدا على حبيبك خير الخلق كلهم نہ کوئی آپ جیسا تھا نہ کوئی آپ جیسا ہے کوئی یوسف سے پوچھے مصطفیٰ کا حسن کیسا ہے زمین و آسمان میں کوئی بھی مثال نہ ملی مولاي صل